When I say life force, what we're really talking about is there's only so many hours and so many days and so many weeks that a person is on the planet. That's just it. We don't know what it is, they die, whatever. But that's their life force time that they have on the planet. So when you're talking about life force, you're talking about even money. Money is life force because you have an exchange of my time given for money, or you have it as time. And basically, people have only so much time. So if you take somebody's time, if you're using somebody's time for something else, then you're actually stealing their life force. That's what's happening. When you're explaining things about life defense, always stay in the principle realm. Now, I'm always fascinated for the ability for young children to actually understand complex situations. You think that they don't. You think, they're too young, they couldn't understand that. And yet, time and time again, when you explain it in a very simple way, this principle. So let me give you an example, right? You've got somebody that is pushing someone else. So Johnny is pushing Mikey. So Johnny is pushing Mikey. Well, the principle here is he shouldn't be doing that. That's wrong. That's against the rules, right? You could say that's against the rules, but then you have to have all these rules around this. Instead, just have a principle. Johnny, create space. When you create space, you are safer. That's just the way self-defense and life defense works, right? If I'm close to someone in a real self-defense situation, they can stab me, they can punch me, they can kick me, they can grab me, they can throw me down. The further I get away, the harder it is for them to do that. To the point of, if I'm far enough away, they could shoot a gun and probably miss me because I'm just too far away. Or if I'm on the other side of the globe, a nuclear explosion I don't even know it happened, right? So creating space is a principle. Johnny, create some space. Remember, we talked about creating space. That's a principle. You create space, the bad things don't necessarily happen because it's too far away. That's a very simple concept. But it's a principle. The further you are away from things, generally, in a principle, the better and safer you're going to be. The 90% rule is this. We're going to say that these principles are universal and they go through everything in time and space, and that's just how they are. That's probably true. However, we're going to also allow for the doubters, right? People will say, I don't know, because in this space-time continuum of a black hole, it doesn't apply. Okay, great. You have a black hole and you have a space-time continuum, but most of the time it applies. The principle works the same way. So what we call that is the 90% rule. 90% of the time it works for 90% of the people in 90% of situations against 90% of attackers or conflicts or things that happen. So when we start talking about this, 90% of the time it's better for Johnny to be creating space if Mikey is pushing him. It just is. And very small children understand create space. They understand a lot of these principles, and that's how that works.